Hey guys, today we are going to be discussing the most recent flat earth idiot craze, the Convex Earth Flopumetnary. This flopumetnary was a complete sham, ran by crazy alien abductees and idiots suffering from excessive anal probes. I do find it funny that flat earthers don't believe in space or aliens, and yet these idiots step onto the scene, and god damn it if Jesus isn't fucking Brazilian. Now this will be the first in a set of videos designed not just to expose these fraudulent idiots, but to expose their idiotic experiments as well. This series will cover each test in its entirety, with the most obvious and easiest to debunk first, getting progressively longer and more in depth with each explanation. And I swear to the God that I wish I believed in, I hope that every flat earth idiot watches these videos and stops posting flat earth proved links in my comments, because all flat earthers are fucking idiots. So let's begin.
To carry out the last experiments, the researchers invited the consulted specialists at the start of the research to accompany and participate in the tests.
When trying to prove a hypothesis, it is best not to involve people who have a vested interest in the peer review process. This is considered confirmation bias. The entire purpose of this film is to prove that the Earth is not spherical. Flat earthers will contend that proving the spherical shape as an impossibility is also considered proof that the Earth is flat. However, these tests were not designed to prove a flat Earth, and just as with the Michelson-Morley failed experiment, flat earth idiots will twist the erroneous data and find some way to justify their fucking fantasy world's existence, cause flat earthers are fucking idiots.
Paulo Cesar Parra, civil engineer and geotechnical engineer, and a specialist in dam projects.
As far as Mr. Parra's legitimacy goes, I could not find anything solid on the internet. I will say that the official Convex Earth website doesn't have any of its scientists or data listed for viewing. It's pretty much a dead page except for being able to watch their videos and see a few photos of the experiments being made. Now there have been a few other YouTubers who have found some interesting information on these guys, but I haven't seen it for myself, so we will just assume that the info that they provided was legitimate. It says here that Paulo Cesar Parra is a civil and geotechnical engineer. A geotechnical engineer deals mainly with ground conditions at a construction site, mostly for tunnels and man-made dirt hills. But with those credentials, he shouldn't have an excuse for making any illogical, idiotic assertions. What it doesn't say is that he is a fucking idiot.
Mauro Diaz, geographer and cartographer, specializing in aerophotogrammetry.
Mauro Diaz is a geographer and cartographer specializing in aerophotogrammetry. Basically, he maps out coastlines from the air. I'm not quite sure why this idiot is even part of the experiment. This goes back to what I was saying earlier about confirmation bias. When out to prove something so belief-shattering, like proving the Earth is not a globe, the best peers to have around are the ones who want to prove you wrong, not the ones who will pat you on the back when your measurement matches your predictions. If you can silence the opposition, then you are doing something right. Instead of a geographer, they should have included a geodesic surveyor. He would have pointed out the error in their measurement before it was ever taken. But maybe that's why they didn't bring a geodesic surveyor with them. Flat earthers tend to find peer review to mean the same thing as reviewed by friends, because flat earthers are fucking idiots.
In Minas Gerais, Brazil, the researchers performed the experiment of the geodesic curvature in the waters, accompanied by the guests.
The test aims, in other words, the following. The dam has a certain level. If the leveled GPS measures give the same, this means that there is no curvature of the Earth. If the measurements are different, then this means that there really exists an Earth curvature in relation to sea level.
And you are a fucking idiot. So let's begin with their errors. They are going to be taking 3 measurements at 3 different spots on the reservoir. They are asserting that if two of the GPS readings read the same height above sea level, then a third reading would read much higher above sea level if the Earth was a sphere, and a measurement that has a reading that is similar to the first two would be proof of a flat Earth. I can't think of a fucking person across the fucking planet that thinks the globe model requires objects to rise in elevation as it follows the curvature. From all points on a sphere, all other points will appear to fall away in elevation. This is exactly why you need peer review and not peer confirmation. You guys are fucking idiots. And another thing, they took these measurements using GPS. Now why the fuck would you do that? GPS is going to give the longitude and latitude measurements and height above sea level. Even on a curved surface, sea level will be the same distance from the center of the Earth, and GPS can confirm this. However, this measurement is not going to give you the necessary zenith angles and therefore is only part of the surveying process. These guys are fucking idiots.
We are with a geodetic GPS already installed here. The surveyor is now going to another point, taking another point to start a triangulation, thus verifying through this process, verifying the horizontality of the water.
No, it doesn't, you fucking idiots. There's a fundamental disconnect between what you think the globe model represents and the testing methods that you are actually using. What you are trying to say here is 3 measurements of equal height above sea level will exclude the spherical Earth from a possibility, which is fucking completely incorrect. The problem is that the Earth doesn't bulge out of the ground and go up into the air, you fucking idiots. On a globe model, sea level is represented by an imaginary sphere that encompasses the entire globe that is equidistant from the core of the Earth and represents the level at which the oceans sit at. Adding more water increases sea level, just as taking water away decreases sea level. But sea level is sea level at all points on the globe. Therefore, on a globe model, we would expect to see every reading at the shoreline of a body of water to read the exact same height above sea level, you fucking idiots.
This first point in the elevation in relation to the sea level is of 556 meters altitude, so we're going to hit more than 3 points.
Now he says here that he is going to hit more than 3 points, but it won't matter. Based on the globe model, I can accurately predict that all the points they take measurements at will result in the same height above sea level. So the first point we will call A is at 556 meters above sea level.
This equipment, the geodetic GPS, we have 2 devices. One installed here to get this point, and the other goes to the other points. We get 3 points, all at the water level, and check the level of that point. The accuracy of this equipment for this distance, a distance of 10 to 20 kilometers, is around a few centimeters.
Okay, so I have to stop it here again. It really pains me to see them get so close to doing this experiment right, only to fuck it up like some fucking idiots. But that's exactly what they are doing. The geodetic GPS is a great tool for accurately determining GPS points and elevation above sea level. What I don't get is if space isn't fucking real and GPS satellites don't fucking exist, then how the fuck are they able to make accurate fucking readings with a sensitive geodetic GPS machine? You guys are fucking idiots.
Engineer Paulo Cesar Parra supervised the entire experiment thoroughly.
I completely disagree that this jackass is supervising anything. This idiot is supposed to be an engineer, and yet he is making what can only be assumed as a dishonest representation of the globe Earth model in an effort to intentionally confuse people of lower intelligence who lack critical thinking. Because all flat earthers have low intelligence, and all flat earthers lack critical thinking because all flat earthers are fucking idiots.
Okay, we'll pass the coordinates now. We are now here at point B, 7.5 kilometers from the starting point, and there we had 556 meters altitude on the lagoon level.
As predicted by the globe model, point B, which could have been anywhere on the edge of the laguna, will read 556 meters above sea level as well.
What will be the results of the 3 points measured by the researchers?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that these researchers couldn't measure their dick with a microscope and a laser pointer. These fucking idiots have gotta be the most bottom of the well of academia. But I will predict that the third point is also going to be 556 meters above sea level as predicted on the globe Earth model.
Will they prove the flatness of the waters or the sphericity of the Earth?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because they are actually going to prove the possibility of both. This test was never designed to determine if the Earth was shaped like a globe. It was designed to test if the Earth was shaped like this. They could have just as easily put 2 pictures up and asserted through observations alone that the Earth does not look like this, you fucking idiots.
This first point, the elevation in relation to sea level is at 556 meters altitude.
The second point also presented the same result, 556 meters of altitude. If the third point were different, the water would be following the curvature of the Earth. If the measurements are the same, it will be proven that there is no curvature, but indeed flatness in the waters.
And you are a fucking idiot. Let's break down your dumbass picture. If points 1 and 2 are equidistant from sea level, then sea level also bends at the same rate as the curvature from points 1 to 2. And if the sea level remains consistent, which it fucking does, then it is fucking impossible for point 3 to be anything but equidistant to sea level. While this doesn't disprove the flat Earth model, it 100% doesn't fucking disprove the fucking globe Earth model either, you fucking idiots.
And the measure of the third point surprised the researchers.
Oh boy, I highly doubt that they were surprised by anything with all that confirmation bias walking around.
Here we also obtained the same measure, 556 meters at the level of the lagoon.
The 3 altitude measurements were identical, proving the leveling of the water, proving that the Earth has no spherical shape.
The only thing that they have proven is that they are fucking idiots. So now that we have the third measurement of 556 meters above sea level, we can conclude that both the flat Earth model and globe model fit precisely with the measurements taken. And since the hypothesis was to disprove that the spherical shape is possible, it failed miserably. If only you had the discerning opinion to consult with you guys, you would have realized your error before wasting your time taking inconclusive measurements. Instead, you brought along an aerial cartographer. You are fucking idiots.
We analyzed the data collected by the equipment, and all points show the same result, the same altitude, thus showing that the water in the dam remains level.
Level and flat have 2 separate meanings, you fucking idiot. Level means at a 90-degree angle to the horizontal plane of the Earth, which also happens to be the direction of the pull of gravity. As long as the water follows the pull of gravity, it will also follow the curve of the Earth and remain perfectly level. Flat, however, means straight with no bending. If they wanted to measure the curvature of the Earth, the proper measurements to take would have been of the zenith angles at each point. If the Earth was flat, then the zenith angles between any 2 points would always be 180 degrees. And if it was curved, the zenith angles would always be greater than 180 degrees. These are professionals in the field of engineering, and they should have known that. They are being professionally and intellectually dishonest in an effort to manipulate the mentally misplaced, and they are fucking idiots.
These data overthrow the theory of sphericity, because according to this theory, the water should follow the curvature of the Earth. Only in a curve there is no level.
Doesn't overthrow the theory of sphericity, you fucking idiot. Nor does it prove the flat fucking earth. Your idea of level is misconstrued with normal people's idea of flat. I don't know if it's the aliens and their excessive rectal testing or the Brazilian methamphetamines, but you have no concept of fucking reality, and you lack the fucking mental discipline to properly execute a true scientific experiment, and you are fucking idiots. This fucking flopumentary is filled with so many inconsistencies and dishonesty, I honestly feel like I'm stupider for fucking watching it. I can't believe that the flat earth community is treating this video like it's the new international version of Eric Dubay's 200 Proofs. Flat earthers have to be the absolute most gullible people on the entire globe, cause all flat earthers are fucking idiots. Now I'd like to take the time out to say a few things. I severely chopped this video up to remove the made-for-TV dramatic effects and bring all of the relevant pieces together as one. It would have made this video about 30 minutes longer if I didn't remove them, but if you want to watch the full-length documentary in its entirety, I'll provide a link in the description. Stay tuned for part 2, Ships Over the Horizon, coming soon. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to stay current with our new material. And if you don't like me because I hurt your beliefs, please leave a comment telling me what you think, and me or one of my subscribers will definitely address you, because all flat earthers are fucking idiots. I'm Father Skeptic, and I'm out.